I'm Tim Carter. This is Ask the Builder, and I just got off. The WLIP live radio show in Kenosha, Wisconsin, with Frank and Kim and Rihanna Stockdale. Good time, always a good time. So today it was really kind of funny. All of a sudden we got talking about projects and mice and wildlife in New Hampshire. It's like you never know where it's going to go. And then we talked a little bit about the high prices for materials, including lumber and things like that. So the trouble is I'm only on usually for about 22 minutes. It goes by, it feels like to me like 90 seconds. It's crazy. But they're very generous. They have me on the show at least once a month, sometimes maybe once every 3 weeks. But great people. I can't wait to meet them one day. So if you have any questions about anything about your home, go ahead and put them in the chat. Please check in. Today is going to be kind of an interesting live stream. And I'm going to do my best to keep my emotions in check. And what today's stream is about really happened as a result of yesterday's stream. And if you were here yesterday, you might remember that, I don't know, about halfway through the stream, I was kind of sharing some results. Hello, Louise. It's going pretty good. I've had better days. I hope everything's well with you. I was sharing yesterday about a question I asked in Sunday's newsletter about what it's worth to my subscribers for them to find out, the results of a 2-year deck stain test. And I gave them options. I said 50, 40, 30, 10, 20, 10, whatever. And then the last one was it should be free. And 38% of the people responding said it should be free. Yesterday, I asked you, should I go back and ask a follow-up question, like, why do you feel it should be free? And about 80% of the people on the live stream yesterday said yes. So I thought I was going to go ahead and try to come up with my own answers. And I thought about it for a few minutes. I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let people type whatever they want. And so I did that this morning. Oh my gosh. The old saying, be careful what you wish for. It actually was very enlightening. And hello, Rocco. Hello, Dave. Hi, Josh. Hello, Don. So my first takeaway from, I'm going to read a bunch of the responses here. And it was I made sure of this. It was really important. It was an anonymous survey. I did not ask them for their name. I did not ask their email address. I don't want to know who they are. I don't care. So that I just felt that would allow people to be more, I guess I want to say truthful, where they wouldn't hold back. All right. So hi, Obi. Hi, Jason, the lurker. Jason, I'm doing okay. But I was a little agitated this morning, because I think you might, it's going to be actually interesting to see what you think, in your comments. And I've got pretty thick skin, but I'm not armor plated. I can tell you that. One of the newer rules of Ask the Builder is if you haven't checked in, check in. I just like to see who's here. You don't be like Jason. Sometimes he lurks, but I'm not going to come and stalk your YouTube channel. I don't have time. Anyway, and also list a superpower that you might have, because you might be knowledgeable at something that I want to know about. Simple as that. So check in and let's see who's here. All right. So I think the best thing to do is what this is going to be about. What I started to say just before, my biggest takeaway from the answers coming in, and some of them were unbelievable, is that it became very clear to me in the first hour that a lot of people don't understand how it all works, how publishers like me make a living on the internet. They really don't understand it. They think they understand it, but they don't know it because they've never had a chance to look behind the magic curtain. And you'll see that in some of the responses that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Hi, 8-bit. How you doing? So I'm going to. You're going to get if you hang in here, you're going to get a very interesting education because I'm going to share some very intimate details that I normally would never share. Because it's nice to know information. It's not need to know information. In other words, I don't ask you how much money you make. I mean that like or if Lorene was here, I wouldn't ask Lorene how old she is or how much she weighs. Or that I wouldn't ask that of anybody. That's not. It's just not the right thing to do. All right. So, hi David. Let's get started. Let me just read to you some of these responses, and I just think you'll be blown away. Here's a really interesting one. So here's the first one that came in right away. It said free videos and tips drive traffic and you make more on the back end. All right. So what's the back end? and this person clearly does not understand how Google puts things on page one. All right. So I'm actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the best of these and I'm going to create a page, like an educational page at the website, and share it in this Sunday's newsletter to show people as professionally as I can that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. All right. So here's a really interesting one too. So I'm trying to think how long it was. Maybe 7 years ago, I did another deck stain test. I did one. I mean, this is crazy what I did, the amount of work. I went out and paid for it myself. I paid for all of the stains. I didn't get anything for free. I cut up these pieces of wood. I stained them. I had some that I set outside. I had identical mock-up that I put inside out of the sun. I tested it for 3 years. And then I published the results and I sold those. And so here was the second response. All right. So in other words, I sold it and people bought it. This guy says, or woman says, free to me because I purchased your earlier survey of deck stains several years ago. Also because I have settled on a stain that has worked well for me over the last 2 years. If a person has not done any research or bought your earlier study, I think the new information might be worth $20, $25. All right. So he was saying, okay, but he still thinks that he should get it for free, which I thought was really interesting. I thought that was a really interesting takeaway because I just thought, the first thought that flashed in my head was, well, imagine if you bought way back when, 30, 40 years ago, Tom Clancy's book, Hunt for Red October. You bought his book and you liked it. So when Tom Clancy came out with his second novel, should Tom give that one to you for free? I mean, I don't understand that reasoning, because this is a whole different new deck test. So anyway, so just really kind of interesting. That's a really interesting comment. Jason's superpowers to lurk. Yes, that's true. All right. So if you have any questions about any of this, just feel free to type them in, or any question about your home. Doesn't have to be about this whole deck stain brouhaha. It says right here. So here's another person who doesn't understand how it works. It says, yes, you did work at doing the testing and all, but if you share for free your results, there will be lots more people seeing your work and results. So he doesn't explain how that happens. Like, well, explain to me how that happens. Like, in other words, if they've already come and somehow they magically found the free video about the deck stain, why would they just magically it says right here, this will go a long way in increasing your hits on your site, thus increasing your value as a person. He doesn't understand it. Here's what I've discovered from being online, having a website since 1995. All right, that's when I launched Ask the Builder. Back in 1995, when the web was really new to people, I mean, people actually did surf the web. They surfed and just kind of snooping around, kind of like walking through the shopping mall. as time went on, and especially in um, my vertical home improvement is much more pain related. In other words, someone comes to ask the builder or another home improvement site generally because they have a problem at their home. It could be concrete spalling, it could be a roof leak, it could be a toilet running. So when they come there and they get their information, they back out, and you can see that in my analytics. In other words, you have to understand, I have access to a giant dashboard that shows me exactly what people are doing. I can see where they go. I can see how many people come to one page. I can see where they go after that on the website, blah, 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 blah. 87% of the people that show up come to a page, read it, and then they leave. They go away. They're not surfing. So that kind of a comment where, oh, you're just going to get all these other hits, it doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold not a drop of water. Hello, Tom. You're a certified plumber. How can I get a plumbing job? Tom, that's got to be a joke question. It's got to be because if you can fog a mirror, in just about any city or town or state, you should have so much work. You should be turning away work. All right, as a plumber, because I get complaints all the time in my email that people cannot get plumbers to return phone calls. So what city are you in? Tell me where you're at. You're in flipping Dubai. Are you kidding me? Way to go, Shannon. Oh my gosh. It must start. Is it getting hot there yet? I know it's blistering hot there in the summertime, but let's see. March in Dubai must be like 85 degrees, 90 degrees. Is that what it was there today? I can look it up. I can ask what's her name, that trollop here on my desk. I could ask her. She'll tell me. Let's ask her. Alexa, what's the temperature going to be in Dubai tomorrow?
Tomorrow, in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, expect a high of 87 degrees Fahrenheit.
I was right on the money. 87 tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let's march through. So if you just joined us, Shannon, what I'm talking about is I ran a quick survey this morning to my newsletter list, asking people why they think I should give away my deck stain test video for free. And the responses I got back were they were eye-opening. So, there were some positive people who answered, like here's one says, while I do like free things, I do not think the result video should be free. Where the materials and time were invested free? No, I think not. And so here's a really interesting. Homeowners need all the help they can receive, especially in these times. Compensation could come from advertisers like it does for other DIY forums. All right. So that's a great segue into, wow, Tim, you've got this website and you've got all these YouTube videos. You must be there must be a fire hose of money coming at you each day. Oh my gosh. So what do you think? So I'm going to, oh, you're from Cameroon, Africa. Okay, Tom. Yes, if you Tom, if you have email in Cameroon, if you can get email, the answer is yes. You get my newsletter for free. People are complaining today. They want everything for free. Okay. I've been giving away my newsletter for free for years. Here's where you go, Thomas. All right, go there, Thomas, and go to that link. All right. All right. I'm from Africa, not Dubai. Sir, can I get so you can talk? Well, yeah, go ahead. I can help you a little bit, Thomas. We'll try to email. So, what color is your Lambo? All right. So 8-bit. I want to jump on this for a minute. Got a quote for a new septic tank in Leachfield yesterday. 1,250 gallon tank, 3-bedroom home, $52,000. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is. So here's what I would do. First of all, it's all really easy to do. All right, it's easy to do this. Um, I would I would call up the local precast company that sells septic tanks and find out what they sell for. First of all, I don't understand why you need a new septic tank. What could possibly be wrong with your septic tank? I mean, is it leaking? I mean, it's just flipping as a concrete box. All right. Leach field, it couldn't be easier to put them in. Could not be easier to put it in. I mean, you could rent an excavator. You could bring in sand. If you take a little time off, there's nothing hard at all about putting in a leach field. So I would do this job myself. And what I'm kind of stunned about is how small some of these leach fields have become. It's like they become much more compact, which means it's easier to put in. So the quote is outrageous. It's just outrageous. And Shannon's right. Time to learn how to run a backhoe. Very simple to run a backhoe. So 8-bit vinyl. If I looked up where you live. The town. I mean, you're not that far. Really, not that far away from me. If I have to come down there, if I'm down that way, I'm happy to kind of schedule a trip that way and take a look at it for you. That's insanity. It's insanity. It's so you just cannot believe how simple it is to put these things in. If you email me, I know you emailed me once, but email me again. I'm going to email you back some photos of. I got some incredible photos I took in the fall of a septic tank and leach field setup being put in just about 3 miles from my home. And when you look at those photos, you're going to go, "Are you serious? I can do that. I mean, I could do that. You could do it in a day." So anyway. I can't address what the new regulations are down there. I don't keep up with any of that. So I don't know what I can't answer. So if for some odd reason the county or the town is on you to redo all this, I get it, but I don't see why you can't do it yourself. I have a great septic designer. I mean, up here who's really, really fair, Colin Brown in Bristol, New Hampshire. But he doesn't put them in. He just draws them. But Colin's a great guy. I can call Colin and ask him who the fairest installers are. So, but 52. I mean, that's insanity. That's insanity. So, and like I said, you can just go online and find out near you in Concord, where the precast factory is. Just find out what the septic tanks cost. I mean, I don't know, what's a septic tank cost, $4 or $5 grand, and that includes bringing it out and sitting it down. They come on a crane truck and they put it in the ground, and then you just simply hook a pipe from the house to it. So simple, and a pipe runs out of it to the leach field. Nothing about it is hard. It is so flippin' simple to hook all this up. I've done it countless times. Oh, you've already got your design. Okay, good. So, all right. Anyway, then you need to call up and you need to find out what the cost of everything is yourself on your off days. You need to price out the tank. You need to price out your plan will tell you how much sand you need. You can call up the local gravel pits, the gravel companies. They'll tell you how much it costs to bring it out. So remember, the big tandem trucks, they carry 10 yards. All right. So one of those tandem dump trucks will handle 10 cubic yards. So you can do the math based on your plan, how many cubic yards of sand you need. All right. And then you can easily go price from Smithfield Plumbing Supply. You can price the perforated pipe, the distribution box, which is cheap, all this other stuff. You can just make your list of everything off your plan and go price it all. That's all you got to do. So anyway, simple as that. All right. But that is a showstopper. That's a showstopper. If you have any questions at all about your home, doesn't matter what it is, septic tanks like 8-bit vinyl, roof questions, I don't care what it is. I don't care what your questions are. You got to put it in the chat. I am not telepathic, so I don't know what I don't know what the problem is at your home. But you can see 8-bit. This is insanity. What's going on out there? These guys, they're almost as bad as car dealers. You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll try to get through this, but understand that I know it seems extreme, like putting it in yourself, but it's really not that hard, because what you have to do, and you wait till the weather's a little warmer, so you have to rent a portalet, because you need to stop using the toilet in the house, but all the other water doesn't matter. In other words, and what happens, here's how you do it, just so you know. I'll explain the process. So you expose this existing septic tank. All right, you expose it. You have a portalet there, and then you have your excavator there. You might need a little bit bigger one, because you're going to need to lift the old one out of the ground. Then you lift the old tank out. You cut the two pipes. You cut the pipe as close as you can to the septic tank. Then you cut the pipe that goes to the leach field, and then you lift the old tank out of the ground. All right, you get it out of there, and then you prep the hole for the new tank, and you've got this all timed, and then you bring the new tank in, and you make sure you would not be the first person to have their tank put in backwards. All right, so when you buy the tank, you get the specs from the tank manufacturer as to what the inlet is. Like, it has to be marked, like, this is where the pipe comes in, this is where the pipe goes out. All right, so you set the new tank in the ground, you immediately hook up the pipe from the house, and you don't have to worry about the leach field right away. You can just stop. I mean, it's going to take, I don't know how many people are in your family, but it's going to take a few weeks before that thing fills up. All right, so that gives you time to then rehabilitate the leach field. So it's none of this is hard. So the big thing is you get the old tank out and get the new tank in, so that you can still take showers in the house. All right, simple as that. So Thomas, I'm not going to put my email address here in the live stream chat. You need to go to that link up above, and you need to sign up for my newsletter, or you can go here. Hold on, I'll give you another link, and you can ask me a question at the website. Hold on, Commander. I'm almost got it there. I almost got it. All right. So Thomas from Cameroon, you need to go to that link. Go to that link, click it, go there, fill out your name, fill out your email address, and ask me your question. That's how you do it. And then I'll get back with you. So here, I just did it for you. I'll put it in again. So Thomas, go to that page on my website, and put your name, put your address, your email address, and type out your question. And I'll get back to you in the next couple of days. All right, let me get caught up. Will, you did not, well, I went to the car dealership today, and no one would come out to talk to me in the parking lot. I was trying to set somebody up. Maybe they thought it was too cold, but I did snap a photo of the window sticker, and what the Planet Honda dealer is trying to do is add an extra $1,600. It was really cool. They've got this list of crappy things that they charge like $1,200 for, like these stupid little door strips, splash guards, all this stuff that's only worth like $20, $30. And then they have a line item that says nitrogen in the tires, and $169. So, and then something else. All right, it adds up to like $1,700. So anyway, pinstripe. Anyway, so I wanted to ask the salesman, I wanted to say, because you already know this. Well, I don't know this for a fact. You may be able to look it up on. I cannot believe that these cars come from Japan. I can't believe they're filling the tires in Japan with nitrogen. I just can't believe it. All right, so then I just wanted to ask the salesman. So, talk to me about this nitrogen in the tires. Like, and then I was going to call the local. There's a company in Laconia that you can buy acetylene and all these gases from. And I wanted to ask them, what can I buy a tank of nitrogen for? So, and then I just wanted, what I really want to do is I want to go onto Amazon. I swear to God, it's worth it to me to do this. Just, I don't know why. I want to go see if I can buy some type of sensor that will sense nitrogen. So then I want to go out into the parking lot where they say they've got nitrogen in the tires and take the cap off and let some air out of the tire to see if it senses nitrogen. I mean, the problem is that the air around us is what, 78% nitrogen. Like, are you serious? Does 22%, does pure nitrogen make that much difference? It's just the biggest flipping scam in the world. So anyway, I didn't talk to anybody there today. Good night. Hello, good night. Glad you're here. You're welcome, Thomas. I was riled up today. That's what the whole purpose of this live stream was, and I've kind of gotten derailed. But once again, if you're here and you've got questions about your home, just ask them in the chat. The thing that's so funny, I wanted to, like I said, you heard me just say, I wanted to be able to say to the salesman, like, how much nitrogen is in the air that we're breathing right now? To see if he understands, see if he knows. Oh my gosh. A food scientist. Oh my gosh, that's great. So anyway, if you got a question about your home, just put it in the chat. Happy to answer any questions. Oh, well, you better check your spam, Appalachia. Fisherman. I'm just going to call you. I love calling you Fisherman. It got delivered. It went out to 27,000 people. So it's there. You have to make sure you whitelist me, tim@askthebuilder.com. So you need to make sure that I'm in your contact list in your email. If you use Gmail, go look in your promotions tab. And here's another trick a lot of people don't know about with Gmail. Go. There's a thing in the left-hand column called all mail. And at least twice a day, I always click that because there's stuff that I would think goes in the inbox. It does not go in the inbox for whatever reason. It's in the all mail box. So you need to, and what you need to do is you need to set up a filter. If you're using Gmail or one of the other newer browser-based emails, you can set up filters. So set a filter up on my email address, tim@askthebuilder.com. And as soon as you start to check that filter, it'll go back and look through all of your mail. And it'll say, hey, I just found one. Do you want me to put that in the filter too? So anyway, you should know what to do. Okay, so Goodnight says, I don't know that I understand it. General steps on repairing a crumbling basement lock. I don't know what that means. So you'll have to, I don't know what a crumbling lock is. So help me out there. Yeah, the email went out. It just that I use AWeber. They're one of the top email delivery systems out there. I know the owner of the company. And I sanitize my list every 4 months. So I get rid of the deadwood, which makes my open rate extremely high. And also the incoming postmasters know that I'm not spam. So wall. Okay. Crumbling wall. Well, okay. So I have got a really great, as you might suspect, I have got a really great thing about that. So hold on. Wait till you see these videos, buddy. My son recorded these videos. I was so angry at him that he did not check the white balance on this video when he was doing this. I was so angry when I went to edit them. Con. I have 3 videos that you need to watch. Good night. I'm trying to bring them right here. Oh, here we go. Right here. There. It's pretty simple. So, all right. So go to this link. Go to that page on the website. No problem. No rush. But anyway, good night. Go to that page. Shows you step by step exactly what to do. So nothing about it is hard. All right. Nothing about it is hard. All right, Thomas. Best of luck to you too. I would think that even in Cameroon, they need lots of plumbers. But I'll bet you our plumbing codes here in the United States are a lot different than yours. I'll bet you. And Thomas, just so you know, I've been a master plumber since 1981. So I know a thing or two about plumbing. All right. So that's a crutch word, by the way. So is anyway. If you have not checked in, please do so. If you have a question about your home, put it in the chat. I'll be happy to help you. Just like I just helped Good Night. There's a really good chance I probably have a video or two about it. Very high likelihood I've written a column about what the problem might be at your home. So I'm happy to help. Happy to help. But I'm not telepathic. You need to type your question into the chat. All right. So we're gonna now. I think I have exhausted or answered all the questions in the chat. So I'm going to move on to some of these other some of these people. So what I'm talking about now are the people this morning that answered a question. Why do you think I should give away my deck stain videos for free? All right. So that was the question. So here's one of the answers. This is how jaded and how cynical some people are. It's crazy. I really hadn't thought about this. He goes, you are probably going to use this, and he means video, to get a commission or kickback from the winner of your results. I'm serious. Like, no, that's not what I'm doing. And then here's one that says, if you receive an incentive from the manufacturer, the info should be free. If you don't, a reasonable fee is warranted. That's correct. Except that here's what happens. People say I should they speak out of both sides of their mouth. In one instance, they want me to have the manufacturer pay, but then they don't realize that if I accept money from the manufacturer, I instantly lose all my credibility because I then have to say on video what they want me to say. So it's just people, there's this huge disconnect, you know. In other words, like at nighttime, and you see some of these people, some of the sports people, I don't know, it doesn't matter who it is. And they say, oh, I've been using this Klein Tools flashlight, and ever since I've used it, my back pain has gone away. As soon as I start to feel pain, I turn on the flashlight and put it on my back like this, and I feel so much better. I mean, do you actually believe those people? I mean, seriously, is that see the problem here? It's crazy. All right. And so this is a great one. And this, I don't know where this guy, because I'm actually going to get this thing out. The actual thing they got. It says, I bought your last deck stain test results book and followed your advice and bought the bare stain you recommended. In that report, I told everyone the bare product is a film former. And I told people film formers are going to fail. And when they fail, it's going to be ugly. But I told him that. He obviously forgot. He goes, and did all the proper prep work as required. The stain is peeling. I said that was going to happen after just 3 years and looks terrible. I said it was going to happen. I predicted it in the thing. So I'm going to get it out. So I guess in short, I'm curious to know what your new results are, but we'll take your opinion with a grain of salt. And then here's another one. It says, I assume you get a finder's fee from Source. Why not get as many customers as possible? I like to cook, bake, and come up with recipes people like and ask for. I used to say no, my secret, but now give away freely and have more happy friends. You're giving away a flipping recipe. All right. And once again, this is where people, they don't understand, because they say, because it will drive traffic to your website, which increases your ad revenue. No, it doesn't. Oh, okay, let's talk about that. That's right. Let's talk about that. So currently, for every visitor that comes to my website, I ran the numbers this morning. I get 2 cents, 2 pennies. For every person that watches one of my YouTube videos, are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? For every person that watches a YouTube video, YouTube pays me 6/10 of 1 penny. That means to make $600, you need to have 100,000 views. And on average, it takes my videos about 8 or 9 years to get 100,000 views. Now, do you know what the average day rate is for a videographer? $1,200. You know what it costs to have the video footage post-produced? $600-700. What's the talent fee? For me to go out and hire a talent, in other words, if I was going to hire a talent, I'd pay $4,000 today. I mean, so I should be paying myself $4,000. All right. I should. I mean, because that's why I would pay somebody else. Right. So the costs add up for producing a video. In other words, people just think the videos just happen. They just like somehow happen. I don't know. It's crazy. So let me go back and see if you have any questions or comments. Yeah. So I'm doing the editing. Well, it does. It takes a while. I mean, I've gotten really good at it, but the key to editing video is, I guess I should say this: if you want to be a really good videographer, you need to edit video first. All right. And then once you edit video, as a videographer, you know exactly how to shoot things to minimize editing. I've been doing it 20 something years, 22 years. Yeah, you're probably way undercharging. Absolutely. No, I'm good. Good night. In the time it takes me to go back and forth and whatever, I and send you files and upload files. I already have it done. So, all right. So if you have any questions at all about your home, whatever it might be, just put it in the chat. Happy to answer any questions. I say it 10 times a live stream. And I appreciate the offer, by the way, to help with the editing, but you've got other stuff to do, and I'm not doing that many videos. And also the videos, just so you know, my whole plan moving forward is the only videos that I'm going to do and put up on YouTube for free are going to be videos that tell people what they should be doing to solve a problem, what they should be doing. And then at the end of the video, I will say that you can get this free PDF file that will help you out if you don't understand it. And in the free PDF file is a link to buy a video that shows them how to do it. So I'm not doing any more free how-to videos on YouTube. Not where it takes 100,000 views to make $600. Not doing it. I know there are none. There are no ask the photo. All right. So if you have any questions about your home, put it in the chat. Happy to help you. I don't care what the questions are. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I'd be more than happy to help you. Here's 100. Justin, any idea if aluminum sidings are still being sold? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if you can still buy aluminum siding. Let's see. I'll answer that question. I'll answer it right now. Trying to find a tab where I've already have it open. I do not. Hard to believe. So we will go find out. Yes. Well, I don't know. Well, it says here, I just, my search results, says Home Depot carries it. Menards has some. ABC Supply. Looks like you can still get it. Just go online. Good luck. Yes, 8-bit vinyl. Yes. Like I said, next time I know I have to go down that way, well, you need to once again email me. I know you emailed me weeks ago, but I don't know where it is. All right, so I can try to, actually, I'll try to find it right now. I'll bet you I can find it. I mean, one thing about, I've been I was one of the original Gmail users. I started doing it in 2004. I could have sworn when you sent it that you identified yourself this way. I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to look it up. Come on, come on. No, not. I cannot. Oh, what? Maybe. Let me go here. Just a second. Just a second. See, if one thing that Gmail is really, really good at is they save all your email, and you could. I cannot find it, so you're gonna have to email me again. I don't know what happened. Maybe you came to me in a. Oh, I think it was a comment in a video. That's what it was. Anyway, 8-bit. You need to email me. Go to the STIM page. Go to the STIM page on the website. Fill it out. Blah blah blah. You know what to do. But getting back to Gmail, they save all your email, and I can go back and find emails from 2005. It's actually remarkable. It's remarkable. So, all right. So, Goodnight says, so you're right about all the tools going to battery. Yeah, yeah. It's horrible. So, in that we're going to talk about that right now. If I were you, you need to go out and buy, especially you, Goodnight, you're a younger man. You need to go out and buy a really high quality, like a Bosch. I really kind of hate to promote Milwaukee because they, I think they're, well, never mind. I don't want to say it. Get a Bosch corded circular saw. Any other tools that you might use heavily, that get a corded one. Buy a corded one. You'll never regret it. You will never regret it, because let me tell you what the price of a battery is going to be. The price of a battery in 10 years is going to be $150. I'm telling you, the tool companies, they're becoming battery companies. That's where their profit center is going to be. Will, what tool would you exchange for another? Me, router turned in for miter saw. I you know what my problem is? I've got them all, so I'm not turning any of them in. That's a great question. That's a great question. I have to think about it. All right. D5. Any suggestions when it comes to skylights? Oh yeah, we have a room with two. One has a small leak. Okay, let me replace the skylights. Yes. Can you tell me what brand it is? Do you know the brand of the skylight that you have? Wow. Are you telling me that new batteries are $150 or $200? Are you serious? Okay, no idea. All right. The best skylights, in my opinion, they've been around for 40, 50 years. They are originally from Scandinavia, I think, or Denmark, one of the European countries. Velux, so Velux. Um, they are, when they're easy to install, they are leak proof if you put them in correctly. And when you go to put them in, so tell me, D5, where do you live at? What state are you in? Tell me what state you're in. I'd like to know. I'm trying to find out if you have a lot of problems with snow and ice dams. That's what I want to know. Okay, Carol, I'm not going to slurp. I lied. Maryland. Okay. No problem down there. I would, but I would still do it. But it'd be kind of high up in the roof. I would hopefully you're going to put underlayment under the roof. And what I did here at my house in New Hampshire, because we have such problems with snow and ice dams, is I installed Grace Ice and Water Shield around the skylights, but I flashed it the proper way by making these L cuts. And so I have the Grace Ice and Water Shield lap all the way up to the top of the skylight around the base, the two sides, and the head. And there's no way water's ever going to leak in around my skylights. It's not going to happen. So Velux, they are fantastic. They're fantastic. I can't say enough good things about them. They've got easy instructions. They're very easy to install if you want to do it yourself. And the flashings are really easy to install. That's the cool thing. The flashings that come with the Velux, like the sill and the head flashing, they're already engineered. There's no caulk necessary. There's no soldering necessary, nothing. They're perfect. They're beautiful. It's a beautiful system. Slurp, yeah. I know. So anyway, I've installed hundreds of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here at my house. They actually, so I don't know if they still make this one. It's kind of neat. They made one. I'm almost positive it was Velux. They made a low profile one and was kind of small, but maybe that's the one they sent. It's really sleek. It only sticks up about this high off the roof. Very interesting skylight. It was really interesting. I've got it on my shed, and really cool. It's a very cool little skylight. Anyway, it's Velux. They're fantastic. I can't say enough good things about them. You won't, as long as you follow the instructions, you will not have a problem. So, and if you do the Grace Ice and Water Shield, I think I even have a video showing how to do that, how I did that. Pretty positive I have that. And it's been so long, I can't remember. But maybe I need to do another one. I don't know. You have to incorporate that into your underlayment. For me, because I was running ice and water shield up the entire roof, I just incorporated. I mean, as I was laying the ice and water shield, marching up to the skylight, I just made it all work out and go around it. So that was me. But you have to do your underlayment the right way so everything overlaps the correct way. What other questions do you have about your home? What other questions do you have about why do you think I should give away my deck stain test video for free? If you think I should give it away for free, just tell me why. I don't know that I'll agree with you. Let me read another one or two, because I think you'll really enjoy this. This was kind of an interesting one, and I can't really touch this one with a 10-foot pole, because it says, do you think Jesus should have charged money for impartment of his knowledge to mankind? I mean, when I first read that answer, because I'm a Roman Catholic, I'm a practicing Catholic. All right. My first thought was, like, Jesus is God. He's got everything, man. He's already got. I mean, like, if he wants to drive a Lambo, he drives a Lambo. If he wants to live in a mansion, he lives in a mansion. I mean, God, he's God. He gets whatever he wants. All right. Um, so this is a really interesting one. I want to see if you understand this, and if you can connect the dots, and see if you know the answer. So this person. So once again, this is a. I asked a question this morning. Why do you think I should give away my deck stain test video for free? And I just let people answer. And here's the answer. One of them. One of 71 so far. Why does Google give away Google Maps for free and so much more? It is all about the clicks. Hopefully, clicks turn into ads, which turns into revenue for you. So this person obviously does. I don't think this person understands how Google works. All right. So Google, because Google puts ads in all of this stuff, like Google puts ads in Gmail, Google puts ads in Maps. Google, here's how smart Google was back when they bought, Google Maps. They did not develop that. Another company developed it, and Google bought it. And Google bought that company back in 2003, maybe 2002. And I was out at Google when they did it. I was there. I've been to Google. I've been onto the campus multiple times. We call it the mothership. I used to go out there all the time. I was invited out there all the time. All right. So the reason, here's another thing you may not know. So the reason, trying to find it. This is really interesting. Hopefully you might discover something right now. So this, you know what this is, right? You got one of these, right? Don't you have one? Flipping smartphone, right? And this one happens to be a Google Pixel. I was at a press event in 2000 up in Chicago. Probably was 2007. I could go back and reconstruct it, but I was there when they announced Android. So at the point, it was right after the iPhone had come out. Google was on the case, man. They knew, they could just tell, because iPhone was the first smartphone, right? Is that right? Isn't that correct? Prior to that was just all flip phones. But you also know, even in the era of the flip phones, that the people at Google, they hire the smartest people in the world. They might not get them all, but they knew that the phones were going to get bigger because the technology was going to catch up. They knew, even though in the day of the flip phones with the tiny little screens, and way back with Blackberries, they knew that we were going to have phones like this. All right, they knew it. It's just that they still had stuff to do. They had to develop that glass. They had to, the touch thing. They had blah 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 blah. They had to mineralize the chips. Blah 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 blah. All right, so can you see why I happened to be in a meeting where they talked about how they're going to make it really hard for you to turn off your location because they wanted to track where you go, and then they want to throw ads in front of you, localized ads for where you are. People don't understand how all this works. I mean, they anyway, not everybody. Some do. Exactly. Good night. Exactly. That's exactly right. People don't understand that we are the product. We're the product. They're getting all our data, and every word that has ever been typed into Google, every single word or phrase, they have all of that. They saved all that. Yeah, add your driver's license, right? Exactly. It's all crazy. Yes, exactly. So anyway, it's all that. So I have a little bit of a chore. I mean, the thing is, just so you know, my deck stain test video is not going to be for free. I'm going to price it at $20. That's the sweet spot. About 17% of the people that responded to my survey on Sunday, they felt it was worth $50. So I'm not going to charge $50 for it, but it's not going to be given away for free. And if people, I'm just going to tell people as politely as possible, well, if you don't want to pay, that's okay. I get it. What you might end up doing is you might end up going out and buying a stain, and it may fail in 2 years, and you would have spent $250 on your stain that failed. Well, and so in other words, if you want to do your own deck stain test, I wish you the best of luck. That's probably how I'm going to say it, as politely as I can. So anyway, so if you have any questions about your home, now's the time to ask them. Happy to answer any questions that you have about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Before, 8-Bit Vinyl he brought to the table a really interesting septic tank replacement project. He got a quote, $52,000. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. It's insanity what's going on out there. It's crazy. That's a great question. Do I think it'll be worth buying a home in 2030? DX5, D5X. I'm going to answer that one. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think the housing market's overheated. I was a broker in Ohio for 20 plus years. And here's the way it was in the old days. In the old days, you would list a house. I don't know, I'll give you an example. A house may list for $35,000. I'm serious, this is way back in time. And you may get an offer of 32, and then you agree on selling it for $33,750. I told that story to my son. You thought that, he'd look like a deer in headlights. Like, that's not possible. Yeah, that's the way it always happened. Rarely would someone ever pay overprice. Rarely. Back in the day, if you wanted to get a house, all you would ever do is you would just, like if you knew that you could get financing, you already had that in your back pocket, or you had the cash, then you would write an offer that just said, I will pay you full price, all cash, no contingencies. That was the best offer you could ever do. Now, no house sells for what it's listed for. Well, most don't. They all are going overpriced. So to answer your question, so it's 2022. That's 8 years from now. Here's what's going to happen. Inflation is going to drive the interest rates even higher and higher. They've been artificially low for years. For 15 years, they've been artificially low. And the reason why they've been low is because the Federal Reserve Bank had gotten them low, and they got themselves into a trap to where they couldn't lower them much more. Or they'd be zero. And at some point they were actually zero, to not to us, but to other banks. And so for them to control inflation, they need to raise the rates to constrict the money supply. And in the old days, 6-7% was pretty much the standard rate. And that was usury, in my opinion. Don't even get me started on the whole. I shared you those videos 2 weeks ago about the big scam that's going on about mortgages and all that. But rent money, the problem is rents are just going out of control. Rent prices are going up they're insane. They're going up more than real estate. So you need to, if you're going to own a piece of the rock, you want to get in and get a piece of the rock. That's all I can tell you. You want to buy, and buy small if you have to, and just keep trading up. But get a piece of the rock is all I can tell you. And as far as building, I would not recommend building right now because it's so hard to do. There's so many delays. Workmanship is crap. The only type of house that I would probably recommend to somebody who's never been through the process, I would buy a factory-built modular home. Go look at some of the modular home dealers around, and you might be stunned what you could do. I'm not going to say they're super cheap, but the cool thing about modular homes is they have to actually overbuild them. They're built very strong because they have to survive the trip from the factory to the job site. All right. That's really important. I've seen quite a few modular homes go up. They can set them in a couple of days. I was on one here. It was built right next to. It was actually part of my 90 acres, part of the original subdivision. This was probably happened 12 years ago. This couple built a modular home. They it took them 2 days to set the house. It came in two parts, like a double wide. From the street, you cannot tell it's a modular home. You cannot tell. You would think it was stick framed. They the roof comes hinged, and so they had to raise the roof up, and then they put it together, and it only took them 3 weeks to finish it. 3 weeks to just button all the things up. And if you were to go to that house right now, either inside or outside, you could never tell it was a modular home. There are some clues in the basement because of how they have to connect up all the electric and the plumbing. That there's some clues there, but really well-built homes. So I would recommend you look at modular homes. All right, let's see. I got to get caught up. Deer fencing. Yes, high. It's got to be high, 10 feet high. Have you ever seen how high those things can jump? So it's got to be way high. I don't care what you put up, but it's got to be high. But if you put up wood, solid wood, and you try to put up a 10-foot high fence, those posts are going to have to be 6 feet in the ground, or it's just going to blow over. And then you've got zoning codes potentially to deal with. All right, so you got to check your zoning code, because in many places they have strict heights for fences. But a deer can jump over a 6-foot high fence like you or I would step over a bumper block in a parking lot. I mean, seriously. Okay, so it looks like 1 a.m. He needs to go to sleep. Good night, Shannon. Great that you're in Dubai. Wow, never been there. Okay. What a joke. They fenced. Yes, Will, touche. All right. No, Tom. So it's like I said, I'm not. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Good night, Tom. Go to that link that Good night just put in there. Go to that page of my website and fill out the form. That's all you got to do. Nothing about this is hard. Go to that page of my website. It's called Ask Tim. Fill out the form. Yeah, and you're right. You have to go below the photo. Like, in other words, scroll down to get to the form that you have to fill out. Exactly. Our plastic, well, so D5 about the deer fencing. Here's what you need to understand. The deer can jump over tall things. Like, they can, just like a high jumper, like on a track meet. Well, I mean, like a high jumper, humans can jump. I mean, they have to land on a mat, but what's the high jump record? Like 7, 8 feet? I mean, it's way up there. It's like crazy. What deer, it's like they've got springs in their leg. I'm telling you, a deer can jump over 8 feet, 9 feet high. I don't care what it's made out of. If you're trying to stop deer, you have to have a really tall fence. That's all you need to know. I don't care what you make it out of. But like I said, go check your zoning code first, because your zoning code where you live may limit your fence height to 6 feet. The material doesn't matter. I mean, because if it's high enough, the deer's not going to get over it. You're welcome. I don't know why Thomas is having such a hard time at the Ask Tim page. Maybe it's not rendering right in his browser in Cameroon. I don't know. But just so you know, Thomas, I'm not putting my email address out here on YouTube. I'm not doing it. So, Um, anyway, if you have any questions about your home, put them in the chat. Happy to help. What else did I want to tell you? So I'm going to create a page, although I don't think it's going to be worth it. It's not going to really change anybody's opinion, but I just think people need to understand. They don't understand that, number one, that people come to home improvement websites just for a problem and then they're gone. And they don't understand how you get ranked on Google. They don't understand that at all, that it's that Google is only putting the websites on page one that help Google. That's all it's about. It's all about money. It has nothing to do with the quality of the content on page one. Not at all. Any questions about any of that? I'm happy to help. Happy to help. Doesn't matter what your question might be. Then I'll share. I'll share some. I'll share a story about my daughter. My daughter, youngest daughter, moved out to Long Beach, California, a little over 3 weeks ago. You know the old saying, sunny Southern California. Well, it's been pretty dry there. It normally is dry. They got some much needed rain. It was supposed to happen on Sunday, but it didn't. Happen. What's today? Today's Tuesday, so it happened yesterday. They got pretty much. I think they got 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and the building that my daughter's staying in has got a flat roof, so there are a bunch of roof leaks. So she's running around the apartment with bowls, catching all this water. It was hilarious. Yes, Carvana kid. Any advice on Will Smith? The whole we talked about. You weren't here yesterday. We talked about the Will Smith thing yesterday. Good night. People asked me about it, what I thought, and I said, well, I'm old enough to remember the whole wardrobe malfunction with Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl. And what was that? 15 years ago? 20 years ago? And that was all that was all by design. All right, the way her costume was made. That was supposed to happen. They rehearsed it. All right. So why they did it, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the whole purpose of that was. We do know this. We know, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we know that the ratings for all of these award shows have been just going down, 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 down. I mean, all of them, right? Isn't that true? Is that not true? So maybe to try to get a buzz going again, they did this. Maybe it was all set up. And you have to understand, so Will Smith's an actor. He's a professional actor, for goodness sake. So he could pull it off. I mean, here's one thing for sure, is that the angle at which it was done was to Will Smith's favor. In other words, you notice he did it as he was walking forward, so he could mask with his body to a huge part of the audience and do, a Hollywood slap. All right. Just like they do in the movies. All right. So, I mean, my bottom line is I don't, I think it was all staged. That I have no proof, just a gut feeling I have. Justin Timberlake, that's who it was. I wondered who that was. Couldn't remember. All right, good. Oh, Muddy, great question. How much does it normally cost to rear a house? Okay, so that's a really open-ended question. I can't answer it because I can think of a bunch of comeback questions to you. What's the house made out of? Are we going to completely rewire the house? Are we abandoning all the old wiring? Is it old plaster and lath? Is it concrete block? How many bedrooms is it? How many square feet is the house? In other words, you can see there are no less than 10, 20 variables that will affect the price. But I can tell you, generally speaking, you don't need to rewire an entire house. Um, so I'm looking to see if you got any other follow-up. So what happens is that the even in older homes, I mean, like a home that's 100 years old, a wall outlet may be fine. It's still 110 volts. So what you'll typically find is that you just have to go to certain rooms and add new circuits. You can leave the old wiring in place as long as it's not aluminum. And even if it is aluminum, there's ways to retrofit it. But you can add new circuits in the kitchen. You can add new 20 amp circuits in the bathrooms. You can add a new circuit for your big screen TV. You don't generally have to rewire an entire house, all right, generally. So it's a really, really tough. It's impossible for me off the top of my head just to give you a number. I'll give you a number if you want, but it won't be right. Let me get caught up. So Thomas wants to talk to me directly, and Thomas, I can't talk to you directly today. There's something at play here. You need to go. If you signed up for my newsletter, then you most definitely can go to the STIM page and fill that out. So just go do that. All right. Let me get caught up. Muddy, I live in Franconia. Okay, well, like I said, Muddy, I understand you can't fill that. So, Muddy, just so you understand, there are all these variables, but generally speaking, you don't have to rewire the entire house. You just have to add new circuits to where you're really consuming a lot of power. That might only take an electrician, I don't know, 2 days, 3 days, if he's got a good helper. What are electricians? An electrician probably is charging out right now at $80 an hour. Helper, he's probably charging him out at $50 an hour. So let's see, that's 130. Let's just round it off to 150. 150 times 8, $1,200 a day. So let's say 3 days, $3,600 for labor, and I don't know, $500 for materials. So that's not to rewire the whole house. That's just to add some circuits in places. If you're going to put in a new panel, what's a new 40 circuit panel cost? You can buy the panel for what, $150? Breakers are $6-7. So for $500, you can fill up a whole panel with breakers. Then you have to buy your 4-aught aluminum. I don't know what that is a foot now. I'm just saying, I would say that somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 will get you a lot of wire in a house. That's about as close as I can get for you. All right. D5X. Are there services or recommended ways to have older? Yes. Well, all right. So, like example, Pella. So, have you gone to the Pella distributor in town, and they tell you they can't get the Pella parts anymore? I don't know about that. Oh, Justin, thanks. Yeah, I just thank you for backing me up. I just tried to do an off the cuff, thing. I mean, I don't have enough data to give poor Muddy a price. You're welcome. But I just like to break things down. Like what. Well, so D5X. Don't. Here, this is a great teaching moment. By the way, this is a great teaching moment. Don't always trust what you hear, even at a distributorship. All right. So here, let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. I'll be right there. Just hang in there. DX5X or whatever, D5X5, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Just a second. I'm at their website, and come on, let's go. Support. Support. Right here, man. Oh, wait, stop. Stop. I'm at the Pella website. Look what I find. I mean, I did this in less than a minute, right? So you should be able to do this too. You need to, I'm trying to teach people how to be more self-sufficient. I have a ham radio buddy who's really bad at that. So I just found that, I found that page in 30 seconds. And on that same page at the bottom of the homepage, they have a support center. So go to that page, look around, and then if you don't find what you need, then go to the support center and contact Pella directly and make sure you give them all the data, and if they have a way to upload photos of your windows. Bingo. Simple as that. Nothing about this is hard. Nothing about any of this is hard. And big cost, having the electrician wait around for inspection to work smooth. Okay. Cat scratch. We need to replace our original wooden garage door. Okay. It's an attached garage. Okay. That enters our laundromat. Okay. The garage is only used for car parking. Okay. Yeah, sure. Cat, it would be fine to do an uninsulated one, but if I were you, I don't think they charge that much more for the insulated ones, that they just have closed cell foam in them. Or you can always add the closed cell foam yourself after the fact. But I just put 2 new garage doors in here at my house about 4 years ago. They're, yeah, not a problem. You can put an insulator, because what happens, like in my garage here in New Hampshire, one wall is pretty deep into the ground. Then it's got a back wall, another. It's really exposed to the weather. Let's put it that way. My garage is very exposed, and my garage it's never gotten below 30 degrees. All right, never. It just kind of retains some of the heat. So I don't think your garage is gonna get that cold. But I would, yes, the answer to your question is you can do uninsulated doors. Justin, do you know anything about refrigerators? I tried calling the company and they said it's a design flaw and it would cost $60 to replace. Usually I fix everything myself to save money. I'm not an appliance repair guy, so can't help you. Sorry. I mean, I repair some of my appliances, but I haven't had to do anything on my refrigerators or freezers ever, because I buy Sub-Zero. All right, so Sub-Zero, amazing, and I religiously take apart the bottom panel. On yours, you may have to pull it out and do the backup, but there's a coil, the evaporator coil, where it gets rid of the heat. Well, I religiously clean that. I keep that clean. I don't want any dust on it. I don't want any hair on it, because if when that gets dirty, it causes the compressor to work too hard. So I think a lot of I do a lot of preventive stuff to make sure my things don't break down. Kat, you're welcome. Make sure you go to my website on the homepage, askthebuilder.com, and sign up for my free newsletter. That's how you could repay me. Just please sign up for my newsletter. And garage doors, you should be able to get some really decent quotes. Make sure you get 3 bids. Make sure you go with a name brand, like Clopay or for the life of me, isn't it funny? I can't think of the brand I used. What's wrong with me? You can go onto my website and see them. If you go to my website, askthebuilder.com, and type garage door video, you can see my brand new garage doors, and then you'll see the name of the door there. So they've done fantastic. They're fantastic quality. Okay, let's see. If you just buy the part, just fix my. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only hard part about refrigerators is the average person's not going to be replacing a compressor and all that, because of the Freon and all that other stuff. But thermostats and whatever. Yeah, I've had nothing but good luck with it. Now, instead of Sub-Zero, my daughter, there's a newer refrigerator that's out. They've been out about 10 years. There's one that's just like Sub-Zero, about half the price. All right. So I don't know the name of it. I can't remember. I can next time I go to my daughter's, I'll look on a panel. But it has all the same features as Sub-Zero. You can buy the custom panels. Blah 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 blah. Really, and half the price. So don't necessarily go Sub-Zero. There's other competitors out there now. They didn't have competition for a long time, but now they do. Um, oh, all right. So thoughts on 1940 Word Windows? That's a great question. These are great questions today. This is why I do the live stream. All right. So let me ask you a question. Are they just up, down sash? Are they, two questions I've heard. Are they just the up, down, the ones that have the window weights? Are they up, down sash? And my follow-up question is, do you want to maintain the architectural integrity of the home? Meaning you want the new windows to look exactly like your old windows. So architecturally, everything's okay. I need to know the answer to those two questions. Any home improvement book or website you recommend? There's only one home improvement website out there that's any good. There's only one. I'm serious. It's Ask the Builder, askthebuilder.com. I know the guy. I know the guy that runs it, and he's a good guy. Silver top. What's cool about the Ask the Builder guy is, unlike many of the other home improvement websites out there, so understand this, there are a ton of other home improvement websites out there. Guess what? When you go to the About page, they don't have anything there about who's creating the content. I mean, that's the first thing you have to do when you go to a website. You need to just stop, look around, go to the About page. If you can't see the picture of the person that's creating the content, or you don't see a biography, you better start wondering, like, what the heck's going on here? Where are they getting this content from? What are their qualifications? They Ask the Builder guy. Guess what? They Ask the Builder guy. He's done everything that's on his website. He's done all of it. He was an actual builder for 20 years. He was named as one of the top 50 in the nation in 1993. How much more credibility do you want? So that's the website you ought to go to. Sign up for the newsletter when you get to the homepage. AskTheBuilder.com. I kept a pretty straight face, didn't I? All right. All right. All right. So one last tip for Muddy, if you're still here. When you start to do this wiring around your home, any new circuits that you add, make sure they're all 20 amp. Do not put any 14 gauge wire. Do not run any new 14 gauge 15 amp circuits. Make them all 20 amp. The price of the wire per foot is just pennies, the difference in price. So you just want to go 20 amp. That's 12 gauge wire. And Muddy, I know the guy. I know the flipping Ask the Builder guy. I'm telling you, just guy's flipping amazing. He's got the most amazing mustache. He can do it all. He's a master plumber. He's a master carpenter. He's a master roof cutter. The guy's flipping amazing. But he's got a flaw. He doesn't like to give away video, good video content. He charges people just like Netflix does. Oh my gosh. Well, so Justin, so that website is owned by Trusted Media Brands, probably one of the biggest international publishers. I've seen so many flaws in the content on that website. I just shake my head. I mean, it's obvious to me. It's the content's produced about people who don't have enough life experience, and things are going to rot or leak or whatever. It just, I just, you know what? Caveat emptor. All right. He's so golfer. Yeah, guys got like that's another prop. So Muddy, just so you know, seriously, you're still here. Yes, the Ask the Builder guy lives in New Hampshire. You're not going to believe it. And he's got like a 32 handicap in golf. 32. I mean, that's almost half of what the par is for a course. Oh my gosh. So good night. So here, just so you know, you've been away a little bit. That's okay. I don't know if he's still here. So 8-Bit Vinyl, he lives just like 20 miles south of me. I'm not going to say where he lives. It's nobody's business. And he and I are going to play golf next month. He's a golfer. He's going to go with me to go play golf with Will. All right. So one more would make a foursome. It's a kind of a long way for you, but I don't know. If the wife's trying to get rid of you for a day, maybe you come and play golf. Yeah, so there you go, Justin. You're exactly right. Here, you're an electrician. You see there are articles. You can tell automatically, not written by a good electrician. Lower is better. I know all about the flipping handicap. All right. You'd fly up there. You would be there in a half an hour or whatever. I don't know, maybe a little bit longer than that. All right. Owl's nest. I don't know what that means, Muddy. I don't know what that means. All right. So anyway, oh, you're doing pilot stuff. I can talk about that. I took 3 lessons, private pilot lessons back. Woo! How long ago was that? Oh my gosh. 23 years ago. I don't know. I actually just found my logbook. It's right down in the garage. Crazy. But my whole thing going into it, I got the lessons for free because this other builder, this woman builder, I helped her out on something. She wanted to do me a favor back. And her husband was an instructor. So she told the husband, "You're going to give Tim free flying lessons." So I went into it thinking that this is going to be fun. I mean, because I had actually early on in computers, when I was not an app guy, way back. This is like in the late 90s. You know, I had Microsoft Flight Simulator. So when I was done with work, I'd fly flight simulators. I thought, this is going to be fun, man. At least for me, nothing about flying a small plane is fun. It is work. Constant work. Constant work. And then here's what happened. The second lesson, I think it was it might have been, the second lesson. So I lived in Cincinnati. So and we were doing these lessons summertime. So it gets hot and muggy. And so the flight instructor knew that I didn't have really a fixed schedule because I was doing Ask the Builder at the time. And he just said, "Am I able to call you sometimes and you could maybe be out here in less than an hour?" I said, "Oh, most of the times, yeah." All of a sudden the phone rings one day. "Hey, can you be out here within the hour?" Yeah, sure. Okay. So I go out. He says, "Okay, today we're going to go up, and right now we're just above minimum VFR. So visible, what's that? Visible flight rules. And I think it's 3 miles. You have to have 3 mile visibility." So he says, "So I want to show you all about that." Okay, sure, no problem. I'm down on the ground. I can see everything. Looks fine. I look up at the sky. It's just gray blue. It's horrible, typical hazy Cincinnati. We take off, we start climbing, and all of a sudden, everything kind of disappears. I'm serious. And I have like a mild panic attack because when you're flying and it's not so hazy, you look at the windshield, you can see in front of you, you can see stuff. VFR, it's like somebody spray painted the windshield gray. And when you look at the side windows, at least for me that day, you didn't see anything until you were looking about 45-degree angle down. Then you could start to see something. So I just kept thinking we're going to crash into a mountain. I mean, there aren't any mountains in Cincinnati. We're going to crash into another plane. We're going to crash into a TV tower. It didn't matter what we were going to crash into. We were going to crash. And that's all my brain was telling me. You have to get down. This is flipping insanity. All right. So I drive home from that experience. I'm not happy. Like, this sucks, man. Then the next lesson, a spin, how to get out of a spin. All I'm telling you is don't ever, if you're in a private plane and a guy says, hey, you want to see what happens when the plane stalls? No, you say, no, I do not want to see that, and don't make it happen. I'm sure it was a 172. I'm sure it was a Cessna 172 or whatever. All right. You want to volunteer doing search and rescue? I don't know. I know people have done it. All right. I'm trying to get caught up. Andrew, hope you can get to play golf soon. I don't know. I have to look at the forecast. Maybe, I don't even, my course, I don't even think is open yet. Lockmere. I don't even think it's open. Yeah. Cost of ownership. It's huge, hugely expensive. Yeah. Plain stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Small planes. Go on and go on video. There's a lot of great videos on YouTube, by the way, about spins and about engine outs, Cessna engine outs. Pretty amazing videos. Watching these guys. I watched one about a week ago. This guy did an amazing flipping landing. I mean, he probably floated for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Luckily he had altitude. Altitude's your friend. You want to have altitude, man. 10-to-1 glide ratio. And he freaking nailed this landing. And he even had to come in and do a turn to get to the runway. And that's where these guys crash. So you have to understand that when you make the turn, if you bring the wing up too much, you lose all your lift and you just go down. It's horrible. So you have to, when you don't have power, you got to really watch your turns. I'm sure Goodnight will tell you that. So anyway, all right, here we go. Good. Plumbing question. I opened up the water valve in my toilet to fill up faster, but then it started hammering when it was done filling. Yeah, well, that's simple. All you got to do is the ball cock valve, the fill valve, just replace it. Get a brand new one. It's chattering because there's sediment in the valve. And what do they cost now? $8, $9? I don't know. They used to be $4. I don't know what they cost. Get the Fluid Master. Fluid Master is the best one. Takes 10 minutes to replace it. All right. Glide path of death. Fluid Master. Yeah. So anyway, an hour, 34 minutes. Seems like 10. Crazy. Good questions today. But that's why it's chattering. It just got sediment. So just get a Fluid Master or fill valve. They're fantastic. Can't say enough good things about them. We had a lot of good questions today. Cat's garage door, that one, the fill valve, that's a great one. My toilet does not fill up after I flush it. What do you mean it doesn't fill up? You're talking about the bowl or you're talking about the tank? There's two different parts. The bowl. Okay, well, that means that the siphon jet hole, if it's an older toilet, go look on my website about siphon jet holes, and then under the rim of the toilet where you can't see, there are a bunch of holes up there. They could be clogged with some calcium buildup. So you have to take what are if you go to the grocery store, those stupid wood sticks that you put like shish kebab on, they got a point. They're like a giant toothpick. All right, I don't know what they're called, but they're about this. Excuse me. Just take a couple of those and put them up through the holes. That should do a lot better. The other problem that you could have is that your flapper valve in the tank is not staying open long enough. So check that. In other words, you can force that up, meaning you can take the lid off the tank. Don't put it on the toilet seat. Always put the tank lid flat on the ground. Don't stand it up. It's going to slide and crack and break. And then flush the toilet, but keep the handle down so that the flapper valve in the tank stays up until all the water comes out. So see what happens with that. Justin, do you do super chats? I appreciate the advice. I don't know what that is. Sorry. I don't know what super chat is. So skewer sticks. Yeah. Thank you, Will. I'm a flipping silver top. I don't know it all. Oh, a tipping system on YouTube. I guess I could look into that. I think I've heard about it. There's another feature in YouTube that they've not turned on my channel where people can just give me a tip, but YouTube has not turned it on. Just really upsets me. I mean, I'm the first home improvement channel on YouTube. I'm the original guy. I've got a lot of subscribers. That's what this thing's all about. All right. Come on. I don't know what percentile I'm in. I have to be in the 99th percentile of YouTube accounts, right? I mean, many YouTube people have only got like 3 subscribers. All right. I know there's some that have got 1 million subscribers. I got it. I've got 154,000. All right. So that was for getting 100,000 subscribers. There's not a whole lot of people. That's a great question. It'd be really interesting. I don't even know that they would tell you. What percentage of YouTube channels have 100,000 or more subscribers? It cannot be 3%. It can't be. Yeah. Yeah. Good night. See if you can figure that out. How many, what percentage? I can't believe that YouTube would let people know that. Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. So anyway, I think I can go to my dashboard, and I think I've seen the super chat before. Here's what I don't want to do, just so you know. I don't want to invoke anything that is like a membership, or like Patreon. We talked about this yesterday or last week. In other words, I don't want to set something up where people pay money in advance and then I have to do something for them a month later. I'm not doing that. So I'm not doing that. Hello, Hope. You want to know if a cast iron stack is normally supported between floors? It's supposed to be. What we did at my daughter's, they have these special clamps. They're squeeze clamps. They're really cheap. There's 2 bolts on it. It squeezes around the pipe, and I know you've seen these like in parking garages where the metal pipes go through the concrete floors, and that's how you support the pipe between floors. There's a way to do it. There's a way, like I would definitely do it before I took out old cast iron. I would have to go upstairs and support the section above what I was going to take out. I can tell you that. It's really simple to put those things in. Well, the answer is, the answer is you can't leave the cast iron unsupported. So, what happened, they would block in the old days, the plumbers they were lucky because they had, the belt, the hubs. And so they would once they were putting the cast iron in, they would put framing and blocking where the hubs were. So, because the hubs were a great place to offer support, but with the new no hub cast iron, you can't do that. So, the no hub cast iron that I put in at my daughter's, you've got to put those clamps in. So you have to support the cast iron. It's so flipping heavy. Okay. Any other questions? I just cannot believe hour and 40 minutes. We got some great questions today. Really great questions. Really great questions. And let's see, 150. I must have missed something. Something was $150,000. Oh, I see, 150,000 subscribers. Yeah, I've got 154,000. Something like that. Andrew says there's no calcium, and if I leave my finger on the lever, it fills up the bowl quick. Okay, great. So I think your flapper valve may be closing too quickly. All right, that's what it would seem like. The flapper's closing too quickly. And what happens is when that happens, not all the water leaves the tank. And then you only get a partial fill of the tank. And there's supposed to be some water that comes out of the fill valve that goes into the overflow tube. And maybe that hose is not in the overflow tube, or maybe it's pinched and you're not getting a lot of water during the fill of the tank to flow into the bowl. That's how that bowl is supposed to get filled up. So anyway, Justin, as an electrician, I usually have a price range per item. There is a low. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. The big mistake I made as a builder, I found this out after I got out of the business. The big mistake I made was I did not offer pricing for my workmanship the way that car dealers sell cars. In other words, if you go to a car dealership, I don't care which model it is and which brand, they have the top of the line and then they have like the economy. And not every customer has the same expectation of quality. And I just kind of priced myself to the middle. And so but it's a really kind of hard thing to try. So in other words, if I could go back in time when I was being interviewed for a job, I would ask really probing questions, or I would look around a person's house to find out what is the acceptable level of quality that they'll accept, that they want, because some people don't want to pay anymore. Some people, no, that's fine. Just it's okay to have an 1/8 inch joint in the miters. That's okay. Just throw some caulk in there. We're good with that. Other people want it to look like it's one solid piece of wood. All right. So that's the biggest mistake I made. Okay, good. So Andrew, so you know what to do. You understand. Let me explain, Andrew, what works, what happens. So in a normal flush, when everything's working fine, you've hit the handle, the flapper valve comes up, and it stays up until all the water empties out of the tank. Then it's designed that it drops down and the tank starts to fill with water. There's a little rubber hose that's about 16 inches long that is connected at the bottom of the fill valve, and it runs up and it's got a little clamp and it squirts down water in the overflow tube. And it's not squirting a whole lot of water. It's a very narrow tube. Maybe it's 1/8 of an inch inner diameter. But it might put in, if the toilet tank takes 30 seconds to fill, it might squirt a quart of water into the bowl, in that time frame. That's how it's supposed to work. So you need to make sure that I think you're getting a short flush is what's happening, and as a result, so all the water's leaving the bowl, and then the bowl's low, and the tank only the fill valve only runs for a short amount of time, and there's not enough water coming into the overflow tube. That's what I think's going on. Hello, Bob. Yeah, so I nailed the cost. I mean, I know you said that earlier. I told Muddy, and once again, I don't. When he says rewire, like, are we going to rewire the whole flipping house? Like, we're going to abandon all the wiring? Are you kidding me? Anyway, got to be 10 grand. Yes, Holt. Either the chain got out of adjustment and the flapper closes too fast, or the flapper's worn out, or there's an obstruction on the hinges. On the hinges. You replace the flapper valve and everything. You should, and you got the chain adjusted right. It should give you a full flush. That's what happens. Laser line by site power. It's coming. I don't know what that means. Speaking of lasers, my son's idea years ago. This is actually, I think it's a beautiful idea. He says we should get rid of snowplows. No snowplows anymore. Just equip the trucks with lasers. And the lasers melt the snow. And get it hot enough that it evaporates so there's not water and doesn't cause ice. So anyway, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm still live. I know. I need to get out of here. I've been answering questions. Had a lot of people. We got latecomers. We got Holt just asking some questions. A lot of great questions. So anyway, lasers to melt the snow. I don't know. Actually, the problem is, I don't know about you, but who killed the last dragon? Who killed the dragons? What were they thinking? I'm serious. How cool would it be to have your own pet dragon? And you just tell it, like, look, it just snowed. Go out and take care of the flipping snow, will you? I mean, and if dragons are smart like dogs, like my German Shepherd, smart dog. I mean, most dogs, they're smart. So you could train a dragon how to melt the snow and not set your house on fire. You say, go out and take care of the snow, would you please? We need to do one late show. Boy, not for me, man. Here's my schedule to see. Here's why I can't do a late show. First of all, I'll be talking nonsense like Brandon, but I'm an early guy. Like, I wake up like at 4:30. All right, 5:00, and I'm at it, man. I'm at it here in the office at 6:30. All right. So here I've been working already today like 12 hours. Are you kidding me? By 8:00, my brain is it's totally out of brain fluid. I don't have any left. I'm just like, can't do it. And there's a lot of great ham radio stuff that happens at night. There's a lot of hams. I can't do any of the night stuff. So no Red Bull. I had an energy drink one time. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I'm not kidding. I felt my heart like it was going to come out of my chest. Never. No way. Yeah, I would do a morning show. And maybe catch more people from Europe. But the trouble is catching the people in Europe. Like Steve would, they could be at work, but Steve would be here earlier. Marcus wasn't here today. Marcus is from Ireland. The trouble that they have over there is they build differently. They have a completely different building system. Yeah. Well, just like Josh. So good night. So Josh has been watching us pretty regularly, and he's working. He may have been off. He may be off now. I mean, because I think at the western edge of the Eastern time zone. Um, so he's working when I first come on. Anyway, but not doing a late show. Not happening. But I would definitely do a live stream in the morning. I might try that. I might try. I can't do it this week. I might try a live stream in the morning, see what happens, just to see what happens. I'll do a quick poll. Let's do a quick poll. All right. So take that poll real fast. We've got 13 people here. All right. Take the poll. Thomas. Well, Thomas, it's all up to you, buddy. I told you have to go to my Ask Tim page and you have to fill out the form. It's all on you, Commander. It's all you. All right. I'll let the poll run for a few minutes. Yeah, exactly. Dude, my Kathy and I are on our schedules 3 hours apart. So I walk out of the living room, give her a kiss at like 8:20. And then I go back and read for a little bit. And generally it's lights out at 10 till 9. Weekend early show. I never thought about that. That would be kind of interesting. Hello, Bish. Hello, how are you? That would be interesting. Maybe I do a show this Saturday morning. Maybe try one Saturday morning or Sunday. Sunday might be a good time. I would have a hard break. I got to get off at 9:15. Hard break because I have to go down and tie my bow tie to go to church. All right, so yeah, not do it all the time, but I can do that. So yeah, everybody looks like everybody wants me to let them know. Okay, so I have to do something on Thursday. I don't know. Maybe Saturday we're going to do an early show. Maybe Saturday we'll try an early show. Yeah, I can tell you. Here's what's going to happen. I'm actually glad you brought that up. As we get closer to summer, I'm not doing live streams at 4 in the afternoon. Not happening. It gets hot. Not doing it. So my schedule is going to shift, and one or two things is going to happen. I'll do fewer live streams in the summer because the weather up in New Hampshire is so wonderful. I want to be outside as much as possible. I don't want to be inside. So I'll either do a quick live stream in the morning early, and then, or we're just going to do fewer of them. So, yeah. So that's what's going to happen in the summer. I can already tell you. There's going to be fewer live streams, and anyone who lives up here, like will tell you, if 8-bit vinyl was still on, I mean, that's why I moved to New Hampshire. I lived in Cincinnati for 55 years. I moved up here to get away from all that nasty heat and humidity. It's crazy. I mean, the weather here in the summer is just unbelievable. I want to be out kayaking. I want to be out doing ham radio, whatever. So, blah, blah, blah. All right. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. So, thanks for being here today. A lot of great questions. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your questions. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we're going to do a quick experiment, do something on Saturday morning. And, oh, Kat, you're still here. You're welcome. I would love to hear from you, about your garage door. And make sure you go to my website, askthebuilder.com, and sign up for the newsletter. And please go read all my columns about garage doors and watch my videos. Go watch the videos of the doors that I have. They're pretty beautiful doors. They're pretty nice. I knew Will was going to say that. Will is on the schedule. My wife is. Will is a night owl. Will's a night owl. So anyway, all right. Thanks for being here today. I'm going to get out of here. Oh, I got to go down and get the pork chops thawed out. Oh, maybe Kathy did it. Anyway, we're having pork chops tonight, red potatoes, probably some steamed broccoli. Good meal tonight, buddy. All right, I got to go. So thanks very much for being here. I really appreciate all your questions. Kat, great question about the garage doors. Remember, you can insulate them yourself by just gluing some closed cell foam in. That's all they do. That's all the garage door manufacturers do. The only difference they have is that they seal them at the factory and, with a nice aluminum coating on the backside, whereas you wouldn't do that. So I would get a price for insulated doors because it can't be that much more. Yes. Have a great night. Yeah. Pork chops, pork gravy, red potatoes, and broccoli. May even splurge and do a little shrimp cocktail. Will had some the other night. He tempted me, and so I had some too. All right. Have a great night. I'm Tim Carter. You've been watching Ask the Builder. Make sure you go sign up for the newsletter if you haven't done it. It's free, and I had a lot of people complain today. They think I should do everything for free. All right. I don't think they work for free. I don't know why they want me to. Steve, you're here. Gosh, did I miss you earlier? Yeah, I'm out of here. Good night, buddy. I got to go. It's late here. I mean, well, not as late as for you, but you just got here. Sorry. You might want to watch this live stream. It was kind of cool. So watch it on the rebroadcast. A lot of great questions. Yes, it is. All right, I got to go. Sorry, Steve. Sorry you got here late. All right, buddy. Steve, wait. Steve. So just before 10 minutes ago, we're talking about like switching it up and doing different times. So I don't know what your schedule is. Doesn't make any difference. There's a really good chance this Saturday morning, I'm just going to kind of impromptu live stream at about, I'll do it 8 o'clock. I'll do 8 o'clock my time. I'm just going to be catching the East Coast people because everybody west of me is still going to be in bed, but I think I'm going to try to see what happens if I catch more Europeans like you. So this Saturday morning, really good chance I'm going to be live at 8 o'clock, which would be noon your time. All right, just so you know. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I'm Tim Carter. You've been watching Ask the Builder. Thanks for being here.